That's it. I am canceling my annual pass. Done. It's over. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Dave K here today telling you about why I'm canceling my Disney World annual pass. What's next for me? What am I going to do without an annual pass to Walt Disney World? And why I'm canceling my pass. Let's get to it. Dave, you're canceling your annual pass? Why? What are you going to do without an annual pass to Walt Disney World? You can't be serious right now. You gotta be kidding me, right? No, it's true. I am genuinely canceling my Disney World annual pass. So, what I mean by this is, my Disney World annual pass expires at the end of November, so I only have another month or so, pretty much, the end of this month, and it's done. And at the time of filming, I've got about a month, but at the time you see this, it might look like maybe half a month left, so time's really going to be closing in by the time you see this video. I'd love to visit the Disney parks at least one more time, first of all, to see the 50th anniversary stuff. I feel like there's probably a lot going on for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. That rolled out at the beginning of October, but I've been busy, I've been doing other things, and haven't made the time to get back to Walt Disney World. And as you may have seen from previous vlogs, it's been a good chunk of time since I've been back at Disney World. So when I say I'm canceling my annual pass, what I'm really talking about is I'm planning to not renew my annual pass. For the first time since living in Florida, I'm going to let my annual pass expire. I will not be renewing it for the coming year. Now you might be asking yourself, again, Dave, why? Why are you canceling your annual pass? What's the thought process here? Like, what are you going to do without Disney World? First of all, it was a long time ago I did the calculation to figure out how much is it worth to have the annual pass, to renew it, how much do you save, versus just buying a brand new annual pass. And for a while, we couldn't buy a brand new annual pass, so that kind of changed the math. But now that you can buy a new annual pass, and they've rolled out a new set of annual passes, it kind of changes the game here on us, and it's worth diving into and discussing what these new annual passes look like. But back to the original point, the math was something along the lines of 2 months. If I didn't go to the parks for 2 months or more than 2 months, it made sense to let my annual pass expire, not go for those 2 months, and then get a fresh annual pass, as opposed to saving the something like 10% for renewing my annual pass. So if there was a period of time I was planning to not go, that would be a good time to let the pass expire. Now, this happens to be a pretty good moment to be having this sort of conversation because looking at the coming year, I'm hoping to do quite a bit, and I'm going to be traveling for the holiday season pretty much. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, there's a lot of places I want to go, lots of things I want to do, and people I want to see. I'm going to be doing some traveling, I know, from Christmas to New Year's, and probably a few weeks before that as well, to spend time with family and friends. Again, Thanksgiving right around the corner, so lots of traveling going on throughout the end of the year, so that at least accounts for the end of November, all of December pretty much, and the beginning of January, if you ask me. But in January, I'm hoping to turn over a whole new leaf, and not having a Disney World annual pass is probably going to be a big piece of that because I have done so many Disney World vlogs. I'd love to change it up. I'd love to do a lot more traveling. And there's so many cities and states inside the US and international places I'd love to travel to visit, to be able to see. And so I feel like early next year and taking the time without the annual pass to do all the traveling I want to do, see new sites, even here in Central Florida and around Orlando, to be able to do some of the activities, try some of the food, to be able to spend some time on the water. Would love to do more at the ocean side, whether that's parasailing or jet skiing. There's so much to do and see, and I'm ready for a change of pace. As much as I do enjoy Disney World, I think it'd be nice for me to have a change of pace and maybe check out the Mickey shirts for now and change those in for, I don't know, a beach tank top. So that begs the question, Dave, when will you go again to Disney World? Besides the trip I'll take, or maybe 2 trips in the next month or so before the annual pass expires, if I manage to make that happen, I guess we'll see. I'm thinking I probably won't go back to the parks and to Disney World, maybe until summer next year. Might be a solid 6 months of silence on the Disney front for me. We'll see how things play out, if anything amazing rolls around. But again, there's a lot of other activities I want to do. Traveling, cruising, visiting new destinations, and checking out new activities in this area. But back to the point about the annual passes and their prices. It's really interesting. If you look online right now, they've really changed around what the prices look like for the annual passes. They've redesigned the whole thing. It's a lot more expensive to get an annual pass, and the terms are a little bit trickier, so it's worth checking that out and considering if you're thinking about getting an annual pass. So let's talk about those new annual passes that Disney World is offering. It's a whole different world with the Disney World annual passes. They used to have your Platinum and Platinum Plus for those that didn't live in Florida, and then you had your Gold, Silver, and a variety of other passes. I'm not sure if there was a Bronze, but there was a Theme Park Select, which I was all about, and then there was your Weekday Select, which I tried as well, and I was thinking maybe I'll renew with a Theme Park Select and jump back in on the variety of that, but they've totally changed up their pass offerings, and I'm looking at it right here. Let me talk you through some of these. First of all, top tier is the Disney Incredipass, and you're looking at $1,300 pretty much for that annual pass price. It's very similar to what your Platinum Pass used to look like. You've got no blockout dates, but there are some differences. I heard that this one does not come with the photo pass, and I don't see it listed in the details here, so it's worth noting that even though you might have had the Platinum Pass before, you may not still have all the same benefits you used to, for example, with those photos at the Incredipass level. Moving downward from Incredipass, you have the Disney Sorcerer Pass, the Disney Pirate Pass, and then last and least in terms of pricing is the Disney Pixie Dust Pass. So, of course, I'm looking at that one primarily in terms of my consideration if I were to look at getting an annual pass, but looking at the details, I really don't love how the Pixie Dust Pass looks. It's $400 for the Pixie Dust Pass, and if you look at all parks in terms of the blackout dates, you can click into that on the website here. It looks like it's a theme park, it's a weekday select pass with a lot of restrictions there. There's several days throughout the year. You're missing all Saturdays and all Sundays, so you have no weekends at all, which is a challenge, although I tried that. It is a little bit tricky, especially when weekends are your free days. Not to mention you're missing several other days and several other weeks throughout the year as well. Thanksgiving week, last 2 weeks of December, but also other dates, like 2 weeks in April. You've got a week actually in March there, so a couple different spring break style weeks. You're missing a few Mondays and Fridays, which are probably holidays, national holidays, like July 4th is blocked off for sure. It is nice to have the summer here, but if it has no weekends, it makes it a lot less useful, I think, for me than some other potential passes. Above that, you have the Pirate Pass. You're looking at $700, which was pretty much the price of the Gold Pass before, if I'm not mistaken, but there are 2 levels above Pirate Pass, which would make you think it's more like Silver, right? But looking through the details of the Pirate Pass, you've got some similarities. There are weekend dates available, which is nice, but still several weeks blocked off. The Thanksgiving week, the 2 at the end of the year, you're missing, again, a few holidays here and there, that 1 week in March, 2 weeks in April, and several Mondays and Fridays, as I'd already mentioned. So it's not bad. It does look a lot like Gold used to, but it does, again, have those limitations. It's very different than what annual passes were like before, and it's worth looking at that schedule to see if it's a good fit for you. But in general, it seems to me like you get a lot less bang for your buck with the Disney annual pass at this point, and I'm not sure I'm ready to renew at such a expensive level, like that Gold pricing, that $700 a year pricing, when I'm thinking about trying to save that money and spend the money on other adventures, like traveling adventures, like cruises, and so much more. So, not to mention, there's so many other parks in the Orlando area and in Central Florida I'd love to check out. So much more to do. Really enjoyed the time that I had the chance to spend at SeaWorld, at Legoland, at Universal, and again, beyond theme parks, there's way more to do. So I'm looking forward to experiencing more in the future, and that really is a few of the big reasons why I'm thinking, annual pass is probably not for me right now. So I touched on a lot of the other things I want to do in the area, and again, I had some other fantastic experiences checking out just new environments as a whole in Central Florida. Checking out Desertland was really cool, and there's a lot more, again, traveling I want to do on the itinerary. This year is hopefully going to be a big-time traveling year for Dave K. So another reason not to look so much at the annual pass is I'm thinking about spending my time in other places. And if I have the annual pass, I'm like, well, I gotta use it. And based on the past few months, I feel like Remy was probably the last time I went, right? What was that, in August? The Remy pass holder preview? I don't even remember. Let me look it up. So it was probably September when I went for the Remy preview, but now, yeah, we're talking about like 2 months since I've been to the park, so it really doesn't feel like it's been all that long for me, so I feel like if I give it like a 6-month shot and see how I do without an annual pass, I think I should be all right without it, and who knows? Maybe this is the end of Dave having annual passes, but maybe they'll come back. Who knows? We'll see what the future will hold, But for right now, I think it's time to cancel that annual pass, not renew, give it a break, and see what happens. I think with the new pricing models and the new structure, there's probably a lot of people having a similar conversation to the one I'm having, especially if you don't live in Florida and your options are limited in terms of those annual passes. You might be saying to yourself, is it still worth it? If you're not a hardcore fan, you don't go all the time, then maybe you're saying to yourself, is it worth it? But to each their own. You've got to figure out what's right for you, and I'm sure there's math in terms of, hey, how many trips to Disney World do I need to make in order to make this pass worthwhile? If I do end up looking at an annual pass, I'm probably looking at that Pirate Pass at $700. But again, $700 is a pretty good chunk of change there to be looking at an annual pass, especially considering the limited amount of times I've been going lately. So we'll see what the future holds at Walt Disney World, not to mention there's so much more to see, and cruises are way up there on my list. Looking forward to doing so many more of those as it gets more and more frequent. We do more and more new locations with cruises. I'm looking forward to checking some of those out. Thinking about different cruise lines might be fun. Again, thinking about different places to travel to. It's been a little bit tricky right now, trying to work out a few things around the holidays first. You got a lot of holiday travel to look forward to, actually, from Dave's channel. So keep your eyes open for some Dave K holiday travel between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then we'll figure out what the new year holds in terms of fun, vacations, travel, and more amazing content here on the channel of Dave. So those are my thoughts when it comes to the annual pass. Will I miss having that unlimited flexibility to go to Disney World all the time? For sure. For sure. And there's a lot of experiences at Disney World I really enjoy. I'm looking forward to getting back when the time comes. And again, hopefully I'll have a couple chances before the pass expires. But it feels like the right time to let it go for a while and see what happens in the future. So looking forward to sharing that journey with you, seeing what the future holds. And thank you so much for helping me make today an amazing day, and every day an amazing day. You know I love to share content with you and to entertain, and I hope you are entertained. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay informed of future adventures. And look for the silver lining in everything you do. Until next time, play on.